Throughout the history of cinema, there have been many film movements that help define movies. Italian Neorealism is undoubtedly one of the most popular and influential movements to come from cinema. Today, we'll be exploring Bicycle Thieves, a prime example of the Italian Neorealism movement. We will traverse into all the elements of Italian Neorealism, explaining how it was created, the defining features, cultural and historical contextualization of the film, and we will also be analyzing a sequence from the film. Without further ado, this is Italian Neorealism. To begin with, let's first talk about the origins of this movement and how it came about to make its way into cinema. Italian Neorealism first came about in 1942, but started to rise towards the end of World War II. With the fall of the fascist regime in Italy, Italian film directors were freed from censorship and were now able to create cinematic realism with social, political, and economic themes. During the time of war, other dominating countries such as the US were still releasing Hollywood budget films such as Casablanca. Italy couldn't do this because of the strong control of the fascist leaders. Anyway, because of this, Italian cinema started to fall, and after the war, Italian directors wanted to focus on contemporary social conditions of post-war Italy, and therefore created the Italian Neorealism movement, which reinvented cinema for a period of time. Some of the defining characteristics of Italian Neorealism include non-professional actors, exploring the conditions of lower-class workers and poverty, and on-location filming. In the film Bicycle Thieves, Antonio Ricci, played by Lamberto Margarani, was a factory worker himself and only became a professional actor after the success of the film. All the locations in Bicycle Thieves were filmed on location, meaning that there wasn't any studio to film in, and everything was real and mostly filmed in rural areas of Italy. The sequence we'll be analysing today is the part when Antonio Ricci gets his bicycle stolen while he's at work. This is one of the most important sequences in the film, as it initiates Antonio's quest to retrieve his stolen bicycle. To begin with, there are many evident characteristics throughout the sequence that convey to Italian Neorealism. The most evident one is being on-location filming. This sequence wasn't filmed in a studio, but rather an active city with real citizens as the extras. This is evident when Antonio is running after the car. There are many people watching him in confusion at what he's doing, which are real reactions from actual citizens. Prior to this sequence, the audience are already introduced to the poverty that Antonio lives in. To juxtapose his low class level, on the first day of his job, Antonio is posting up a poster of Rita Hayworth, a big Hollywood star who contrasts with Antonio as he represents a bleak citizen of post-war Italy. When Antonio's co-worker tells him to flatten out the creases on the poster, it is basically telling the audience that she cannot look flawed and must look perfect to the public. Antonio doesn't have access to Hollywood resources to hide his flaws, unlike Hayworth. To add to this, the thief who stole Antonio's bicycle is just another low-class citizen attempting to make a living by most likely selling the stolen bike. After Antonio's bicycle gets stolen, he goes to the police asking for help. The police respond by saying they can't help Antonio as it would be too much effort just to look for a bike. To Antonio, his bicycle means everything, as it is a symbol for hope for his family, but the police think of it just as another cheap bicycle that is replaceable. In an earlier scene, Maria Ricci, Antonio's wife, jokingly says that he looks like a policeman when wearing his hat. This is foreshadowing that Antonio is taking matters into his own hands and being his own policeman to look for his bicycle. Antonio turns into his own hero, attempting to find his bicycle so that he can support his family again, shining empowerment on an ordinary low-class worker. To summarize, Italian Neorealism was the effect of post-war life, focusing on contemporary social conditions after the fall of Benito Mussolini and his fascist control. Bicycle Thieves display evident characteristics of Italian Neorealism, and it is a strong example of neorealist cinema. Italian Neorealism has also had its influence in modern-day society, influencing many directors such as Martin Scorsese and later film movements such as French New Wave. Italian Neorealism wasn't just a film movement, it was an expression of moral and ethical philosophy. It leaves its legacy of being one of the greatest film movements in cinema and influences on many modern-day filmmakers. As for Bicycle Thieves, the film still lives on being one of the greatest films ever made, and it's still being widely spoken and studied about despite being released 73 years ago. Thanks for watching.